And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, Director of WEIU. My co-host is Corbin Cox. Welcome, Corbin.
Hello.
And a return appearance today for Bailey Taylor. Now get this title, Public Relations and Event Coordinator at the Coles County Council on Aging at the Lifespan Center.
Yes.
Get that all on a business card, right?
Yeah. Right?
So it's Eclipse 2024 day, so we'll get that out of the way right now. I know you got a lot of stuff going on out there. Where do you want to start, Bailey? Talk about where you want to start.
Well, I will start with one of our bigger events. It is on this Friday. It is our Globe Bingo fundraiser. This is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year, including other twos that we have later in the year. And so this Friday we will be doing Globe Bingo. Tickets in advance are $25, and it is $30 at the door. It starts at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6. So pretty much it's just your average bingo, but it's glow in the dark with a bunch of booze, food, and raffles and everything else. So
these things have become popular. It's recently. I mean, do you know who came up with the idea? Was it a nationwide thing, or where did Globe Bingo come from?
I'm not sure. So the company that we actually booked is from Belleville, Illinois. It is literally just called Globe Bingo. So they call it your not your mother's average bingo or something like that. So
I guess what makes it so fun is because you're in the dark and you have the glow sticks on, or I mean, I guess you know.
I mean, the music, the people who put it on do a really great job. They're very energetic. They love what they do. They can definitely get the crowd going. So
okay, cool. You ever been in Globe Bingo, Corbin?
Yeah, they did it on campus a few times my freshman year, but I don't think they've done it since then. I don't know why.
There you go. When you think about you putting on these events, I mean, talk about what it takes to put on an event like this. When you think about the work you put.
So we have a committee of I think 5 to 6 people. They all work at the Coles County Council on Aging Lifespan Center, and I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of sponsorships. There's door prizes. How much food do we need to get? How many tickets can we sell? Booking the place, because I mean, it's not going to be at our Lifespan Center. It'll be at the Mattoon Eagles. So I mean, there's just a lot of different things that play in the background that a lot of people don't see at all.
Do you set like a goal that you like a budget you'd like to make for this fundraiser for you guys?
Yeah.
You don't have to give us numbers, but I mean, just saying if you.
Yeah. We definitely hit high over hill for our sponsorships. So we are very, very thankful for everybody being able to come together and help us out with that. So.
Okay. That's just Friday. Corbin?
So it's a fundraiser. Could you maybe spotlight some of the things that like the donations and the money you'll make from it might go towards?
It will go towards the Coles County Council on Aging itself. It will go towards Dial-A-Ride, and it will go towards Senior Information Services.
So people that don't know what Dial-A-Ride is, I mean, it's been around forever now, but maybe somebody out there doesn't know.
Yeah, so Dial-A-Ride is our public transportation for Douglas and Coles County. We have a zip line service. We do will call. Dial-A-Ride is not my thing, so I can't really say a whole lot about it. I wish I had Casey Sanders here. She's our operations director. But yeah, if you go on our Facebook page, you can find more on it.
Okay. What's the best part of your job out there is kind of being the PR and event coordinator?
Oh, really just promoting Coles County Council on Aging itself, promoting Lifespan Center and everything that we do. My biggest goal whenever I started in February of last year was to bring everyone back in. COVID really set a lot of people back, so there is that social isolation, and our numbers have like tripled ever since last year, and so really getting those people back in is very motivating.
And when you say people back in, is that some of the older people in Coles County?
Yeah, and so with the Coles County Council on Aging, a lot of people think that we are strictly a senior center. We are, however, like the other day we had Franklin Preschool out there, and we had movies all day for them. So we really don't want to say, oh yeah, we're just a senior center. We are all ages because we're on aging. So
That's a good answer.
When I was looking at your website, I found like a calendar, and you guys have like events every day of the week. What are some challenges with putting on so many events and programs like every day?
Whether or not people are going to show up. A lot of our events, we do kind of a registration on our Day Smart. Some events we don't have people register for. So like bingo, we don't have people register for that because it's every Wednesday and Friday. And if it was me, I wouldn't want to register for bingo like that. So doing that, we know we know who's going to show up, but sometimes those people don't show up. And sometimes that kind of gets a little, not disappointing, but kind of worrisome, is if they're okay or what's going on. Yeah.
So when you organize a calendar that's so full like that, I mean, do you get the same people coming to different events, or do certain people come to every event, or tell us a little bit about who comes there?
So like this morning, we brought back our wireless made simple. I had somebody that approached us wanting to help us out with it, and I was able to bring that back. And I've never even seen some of the people that came today. I don't know where they came from. They don't attend our other events, so I'm not sure where they came from. But since we have a variety of different events, sometimes we get people that I've never seen before, and so bringing them in helps us out a lot, kind of seeing who we're touching with on different events.
Makes sense. Yeah. So. The wireless thing before Corbin goes is that like, so for older people can kind of figure out how to use their phone better, how to program it?
Yeah.
I mean, get on Zoom or whatever it is.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if I need to sit in on it. But we pretty much, they just come in and let's say they need help with like their Apple Watch. And they'll come in, ask a few questions on the Apple Watch. It's simple as that. Their tablet, their computer, their laptop. I mean, just simple little things.
That makes sense. Yeah.
How do you come up with new programs? Do you like take suggestions? Do people come to you and be like, hey, I don't know how to do this. I want to know how to do this, or this sounds interesting? Or is it all like just up in your brain?
Up in my brain, up in everyone else's brains. Definitely suggestions. That helps out a lot. Or even like past events. Like we have a group birthday party coming up on April 19th that the Villas of Hollybrook is sponsoring. They used to do that in the past, and I believe COVID kind of shut that down quick because we were shut down. So that was kind of something that was in the past that I wanted to bring back, especially with social isolation. So. Can
you tell us a little bit about the history of the Lifespan Center and how it became about? Because I think is it coming up on the 50-year anniversary? Is that right?
Yeah. So
doesn't even seem possible.
Pretty much all year. So the Coles County Council on Aging is celebrating their 50 years.
Okay.
The Lifespan Center has only been there since I think 2007, 2008. And so pretty much this year, I think it's in June or July, I can't get my dates straight, but that'll be our 50th year anniversary. But pretty much all year we're celebrating 50 years because it's a huge accomplishment.
That is kind of cool. You also have something called the IRS RPAD event. I have no idea what that means. I'm just going to throw it out there and you would tell us.
Yeah, so our executive director, Kim Edwards, is pretty much coordinating this event. I am definitely helping out. But this is just pretty much for people to come in, and whether or not, if they didn't file their taxes, they can do it that day as well. It is Wednesday, May 15th from 10 to 2. They're going to come in. There will be other outside resources as well that we are inviting. And there's going to be kind of some social isolation things that we can help out with. I mean, there will be a number of different things, so.
Rural Partner Action Day is what it is. I just found that out from the picture you sent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's kind of cool. Corbin, go ahead.
So, like I said before, you have like events every day. Maybe could you tell us what's one of the most popular ones, and maybe spotlight like what it is?
Bingo. I will say bingo is probably our biggest event. Whenever I first started last year, I think there was maybe 5 or 6. And now we have people coming from all over. We have people coming from CTF. We have people coming from CCAR. And our record-breaking number one day was like 48 people. So pretty much with bingo, we do it every Wednesday and Friday from 12:30 to 2. We have sponsors for each of those days. And they just come in, they call bingo, send them on their way. They bring prizes in from like Dollar Tree or Walmart. They'll bring in some household items. They'll bring in some food, just simple little things. So.
And so that kind of where you get the idea to do the big bingo with the Glow Bingo this Friday.
Kinda, yeah.
At the Eagles? All right.
Yeah.
There you go. When you talk about the Eagles people being there and putting on a show, so that means they're on the microphone, they're playing music, and so they get people pumped up to buy more bingo cards, or is that the idea? Is you want them to continue to do more?
So at the door, you're more than welcome to purchase more bingo cards. You will get 10 cards at the door already. The way they get them pumped up is, let's say I call bingo. Well, 5 other people could call bingo too at the same exact time. this person will bring all those people up to the front and make them do a silly dance, make them walk around the room and do something. I mean, it's not your average bingo.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was going to say, when they did it on campus, if there was multiple people who called bingo, they did like a dance contest.
Okay.
And we all had to vote.
Yeah,
Who's the best one.
There you go.
Jeff, are we going to see you?
I got a great move. Just ask anybody to see me dance, right? Which there are very few of those. You also have a car show coming up, 2024 car show. Talk about that.
So our car show, we pretty much just put out a save the date for now. We are definitely going to be working on it after Globe Bingo is over with. It'll be September 7th, I think is when I save the date. And so that'll be a Saturday morning. We did it last year as our first one. We had a lot of things that we needed to learn on because I don't know anything about cars, really. But we're doing cars and bikes. Pretty much we'll have, I think, 10 different categories. We haven't gotten quite there yet. Once I have more information, I'll give out. But save the date.
Save the date. September 7th. Bailey Taylor is our guest today from the Coles County Council on Aging at the Lifespan Center between Mattoon and Charleston. You also have some job openings for some driving positions?
Yeah, we have a full-time and part-time driving positions open in Coles County with Dial-A-Ride. You can check out the flyer for more details on there, but there are some few requirements that we kind of ask for. But other than that, Dial-A-Ride is a wonderful opportunity for the public. So.
And is that right? Does it serve Coles County? It only stays in Coles County, is that correct?
Coles County and Douglas County.
Okay, that's good.
Douglas County is actually already completely employed, so we don't have any openings up there, but Coles County we have 2.
Okay.
For people who want to get involved at the Lifespan Center, like to come to events and stuff, is there a membership they have to be? If so, how do they become a member? Or are they able to just show up?
They can just show up. Simple as that. We may ask them a few questions if they're not in our Day Smart system, we may ask them a few questions just to get them in there. And our volunteers at the front desk will easily just sign them up for whatever they need to be signed up for. There's no membership at all. It is open to the public. So,
and the Day Smart's kind of what just keeps track of the individual people.
All of our appointments are on there. Individual people are on there. Our events are on there. Everything.
To put on all these events, do you have volunteer opportunities, or talk about that and what you need?
So with Globe Bingo, First Mid Bank and Trust is actually helping us out tremendously with a ton of volunteers. They helped us out last year, and they were really excited to help us out again this year. So I think we have about 10 or 12 of them helping us out this year. Having them help is amazing. They love being involved. So.
There you go. You can also host group birthday parties out there?
Yeah, so we'll be doing that April 19th at 2 p.m. The whole idea behind it was to, some of our people spend their birthdays alone is very disappointing. And so having them come out for a free slice of cake. Come out, have some fun, talk, chit-chat.
Do you only do that once a year, or is that? So
this is something new that we have started up with the Villas of Hollybrook. We're going to start it this month and see how it goes, and possibly do it every month.
Makes sense.
So.
There was some other things I saw on your website, and forgive me if this isn't your your area, but you have some support groups out there for memory loss and Parkinson's and stuff.
Yeah, so Connie Gonzalez is our caregiver advisor. She's the one who hosts those support groups. Trying to promote people to come out is a little bit difficult. Trying to get them to come out and just talk is a challenge. It is a huge challenge. And so Connie does a very good job on promoting it. It's just, like I said, trying to get people to come out.
That's probably the toughest part of any new business or anything that opens up in terms of volunteerism or not volunteerism, is to get people to try it the first time, right?
Yeah.
And then they realize, oh, this is free, it's fun, I can get out of the house, mostly for people who are retired.
Yep.
Or who just choose not to work, I guess, too. So have you learned anything in their first year of tricks of the trade to kind of get people to come out and try it for the first time?
Yeah, so, and I mean, it's kind of obvious, but if we put on there that there will be a free brunch or a free food or free recipe to try
kind of like college students.
Yeah, right.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, people are coming. And it's the same thing with Dine with the Doc. We do Dine with the Doc every third Friday of every month. And it's just a lot of people like to come out for that meal. and that is completely okay. But they're also getting information, great information. So definitely having that meal listed on there or just recipe to try out. Everyone loves it. So
So do they just pepper the doctor with questions about health and things like that?
So they have a doctor, nurse, whoever, come out every month, and they will give a little blurb about who they are, what they do, and afterwards they'll ask questions and they get some health advice. So
There you go. There's something also, the RSI Echo Show.
yeah, so that's our Reducing Socializing Isolation program. Colette Coley is actually one of our new employees that will be doing that. And pretty much it is just a program to reduce social isolation. Colette helps them out with installing it into their home, and she will call them, I think, every week and just kind of have a one-on-one conversation with them. And I mean, it is just wonderful. We had a long waiting list, and we finally have caught up to it, which is wonderful. So there is a lot of people who take home the Amazon Echo Show device, and it has a camera on there, and so they can FaceTime back and forth or just talk back and forth, and it has done wonders. So
How big of a problem is social isolation for elderly people? Is it, and top it off with it, we came out of COVID. I mean, is that all?
It's a big deal. A lot of people don't think it's that big, and I think it just truly depends on the person itself and how they feel about getting out and socializing or going to events or learning more things. And like I said, COVID has done a wonder on that, and it is really disappointing. So just trying to get those people to come back out is a little difficult as well.
Speaking of which, so like you said, social isolation is something we haven't really dealt with in this capacity, like in our country yet. How do you guys come up with programs to help with that? Like, what's the process, like the brainstorm process?
RSI was probably one of our biggest. It was, I think, introduced by ECIAAA. I could be completely wrong on that. Don't quote me.
Oh, we're quoting you.
It's okay. I don't know what ECIAAA is.
I know, it's all on TV. It's fine. But, yeah, I think they're the ones who came up with that idea. And like I said, with the group birthday parties, it was just kind of like a common sense kind of thing. Well, people are spending their birthdays at home. You know, let's bring them in. So.
Do the Echo shows get donated, or do you have to pay for them?
We got a grant for it. So
that's kind of cool.
It is very, very cool.
But does that give people a reason not to come out, though? I mean, since you're calling them and doing that, not to be devil's advocate, but a little bit, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I can definitely see where you're coming from, but being able to actually socialize with someone day to day, it helps them out a lot.
And they may come out of that a little bit, then want to show up and do some of the events. I'm sure you still tell them some of the events. Yeah. Yep. All right. When you think about elderly people, you know, what do they really want the most? Is it conversation? Is it structure? You know more about it than us. What do they want?
Services.
Really?
I mean, we have a lot of people who come out for our senior information services, and whether that be they need a discount on their license plate sticker. That is our BAA program, and sorry, but $151 for a license plate sticker is a lot, and a lot of our older adults that are on a fixed income can't really afford that, and so coming out and getting them to fill out some information, getting them a discount on their license plate sticker helps them out, gets them the information they need, whether they need also some Medicare, Medicaid advice, sign up for a new plan, you know.
So if they come out there with how much can you reduce a $151 bill to?
I'm not sure on that. Okay. That would be Kim Foudy. That would help him or her out on that.
But any would help. I mean,
right? Absolutely.
That's cool. When you you do a lot of fundraisers for these things. Are these the kind of things that really the money is used for to help as many people out as possible? Yeah.
So any type of fundraiser that we do, it gets split up between the Coles County Council on Aging. So like I said, Coles County Council on Aging, Dial-A-Ride, and Senior Information Services. So.
Okay. You also have a Tai Chi program.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
Yeah, so I think her name is Peggy Brayfield. She is our instructor. I've sat in on it a couple of times. I have not gotten into it. It is not my cup of tea, but I could see how it is everyone else's cup of tea. It is very relaxing. I'm not sure what kind of moves they do. It kind of reminds me of like Kung Fu Panda or something. But Yeah, so they that is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m.
Well, you have a variety of things out
We
there.
do.
So I guess, and that's the best way to do it, because you're going to hit some home runs and some things are not going to work, and you can change them as you go. But I think it's just you got to keep throwing stuff at the wall to see what people like the best.
Yep.
So, what do you steal ideas from other agencies, or do you have brainstorming sessions out there to come up with ideas?
There are times I'll sit in my office and I'm like, what needs to be different out here? What can we do different? Or what can we bring more people in for? And sometimes I get some ideas from other people, but not very often.
What if, you read my mind there, what if somebody had some kind of great off the wall whatever idea? Could they just call you up and say, Bailey, have you thought about doing this for people? Would you listen at least?
Oh, absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
you should challenge some of the EIU students to think of some ideas for her to do out there.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So what is have you had like a very wild idea where someone called and you're like, I don't think we can make that work?
Yes. Yeah, I can't remember. I've had a couple and I've just kind of looked down and I'm like, probably not. I don't think that's going to work out here. Big dreams. But yeah.
Other services or things you offer that people may not know for the folks here in Coles County that we haven't touched on today? We have about 7 minutes left today to talk about some final things. Any other things that are out there that you do?
I guess I could offer our next fundraiser, which is actually in the whole month of July. I believe the whole reason we kind of thought of this because it's National Flamingo Month. And so we do a Flock of Friend fundraiser, and if you've ever seen the flamingos in the yards, that is us.
Okay.
So pretty much we have 2 sets of flamingos in Charleston and Mattoon. They get sat there for about, I think, 3 days, and you literally just pay a simple $25, and we go and we flock someone's yard. So it is a very fun idea. It's a very hot idea. I mean, in the dead summer in July, I mean, it's a lot of work getting the flamingos in the yard whenever the yard is dry.
Okay. So how many flamingos do you put in? How many do you put in a yard?
I think it's like 8
Oh,
or
really?
9. Yeah, we have a lot. So I've never had anybody come out and be like, why are you putting flamingos in my yard? But I'm ready for that day.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, well, you'll just find out somehow. And it can be anonymous, or they can pay an extra $5 to have a simple message sent to them, and we'll put it either in their mailbox or we'll put it on the sign itself. So
Pretty cool. That's a cool idea.
My hates flamingos, and her friends used to do that to her, so I might know when I'm going to be spending some
There
money
you
on
go.
it.
And your grandma still lives in Mattoon, right?
Yeah, she does.
There you go.
yeah, there you
No.
go. Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
have more information
Yeah.
on
I'll
I
that
have
coming
to
up.
just call in real quick.
They can also rent out there, right? They can rent your space if they
Yeah.
have a private meeting or even a wedding or
Yeah,
whatever.
so our rentals are actually picking up. We literally just had a rental for what we thought was going to be a celebration of life. And it was absolutely wonderful. It was a great, wonderful spot, central. But yeah, you can rent the movie theater. You can rent the rec room. You can rent the auditorium or the whole great room. We are actually going to be hosting Charleston's prom this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I thought was crazy. But yeah, so we'll be doing that this year.
There you go.
We had a wedding last year, and that's kind of something that we kind of battle with is we may be cheaper, but the way with wedding venues are going right now, I mean, everybody wants to pay for the elegant look of everything. We may not have that, but I mean, we have a big space.
Yeah, it's, cost effective does matter.
Yeah. So.
Corbett?
So, in addition to services for elderly people, do you also provide things for maybe those caring for them? Because I think that's a pretty equal challenge. Like the support groups and stuff you guys offer are like relatives and caretakers welcome at that stuff too?
Yeah, so they are more than welcome to come. We actually have a caregiver brunch going on tomorrow morning at 9:30. We have a couple of speakers coming in, and they're going to get some brunch, and they're going to get some information from each organization that's coming out. I think caregivers is a hard topic for some people. I mean, I caregive myself for some family members, and it can be difficult day to day. But I mean, definitely offering them those services helps them out a lot. So.
Bailey, what do you think is the toughest part of your job out there as the PR coordinator?
I don't know. I feel you really put me on the spot for that one.
I tried to.
I don't know.
You know?
I mean, I will say, like,
I think juggling all the events from my point of view.
I will tell you, there's some days that I'm like, we do movies every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And someone will come to me and I'm in the middle of something. hey, there's people downstairs for the movie. Oh, that's today, isn't it? So, I mean, juggling all the events that we do, I love it. And making sure people come, I think, is my biggest
More of a fear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've had a couple events where 1 or 2 people show up. Or I've had events where 5 or 6 people show up or register, and then 1 or 2 show up. I mean, it's difficult.
There you go.
So,
Since we're talking about, elderly care, what age do you think is elderly? I say that because these students here at Eastern are now calling Rob and I elderly all the time. So what do you
Really?
think is the age of elderly?
60 to 65.
All right, so I still have time. You cannot call me old anymore, Corbin. All
My
right?
mom is not going to be thrilled to hear
Oh,
that.
no. It's okay. It is completely okay.
Sorry, Mom, if you're listening.
Before we get into unrelated questions, anything that you want to touch on real quick again before we get into the finals?
Glow Bingo. Come out and support. It'll be a lot of fun.
That's this Friday at the Eagles Club in Mattoon.
Yep.
Doors open at?
6.
Okay.
Bingo starts at 7.
How long does it go? Is it?
Last year it ran until about 10:30.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a lot of fun, guys. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
There you go.
So.
Corbin, any final questions
Yeah,
for her?
I have one more question. So you were talking about with events and, like, not having a huge turnout. How do you let that, like, not discourage you and not get you down?
Not everything's going to be perfect. That's how I live day to day. Not everything's going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. If something doesn't go over well, it's okay. As long as I've got other events that are getting shown up for. I mean,
That's a great answer. I like that.
yeah.
All right, unrelated 8 questions. What are you looking forward to the eclipse?
Yeah.
Corbin?
I don't know when there will be another one.
I'm excited. I'm sad I won't get to be in totality, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
Do you have a hero or a mentor that you look up to?
No.
Can't think of anyone off the top of my head. I guess you, Jeff.
Hobby?
Golf. Boating.
I like watching movies.
Snack food that is your go-to?
Pepperoni.
I don't know. Mine's changed a lot recently, so I go through phases, like sometimes Cheez-It, sometimes something else.
Do you have a garden? Are you a gardener? Do you have tomatoes and stuff?
No, but I'll plug in our community garden at the Lifespan Center.
No, I don't have one.
No garden. Third grade teacher was?
Miss Horn.
Corbin, can you remember off the top of your head?
Miss Coker?
Mrs. McRoberts. For me, I'll throw it in there. Do you have a pet?
Yes and no. I take care of my boyfriend's brother's pet.
My roommate has a cat that I want to be mine.
Yeah, you were talking about that. What's the cat's name?
Chaps.
Chaps. What's the dog's name?
Hank.
Hank. All right, last question. Are you going to go to any summer concerts or events or anything that you're looking forward to this summer?
Not at the top of my head. Not right now.
Maybe Greta Van Fleet, maybe Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh,
there you
such a
go.
good one.
There you go. Bayla Taylor, good to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep, Public Relations and Events Coordinator at the Coles County Council on Aging at the Lifespan Center. Glow Bingo is this Friday. If you need more information, just contact Bayla. She'll take care of you. We are WEIU.